your sense of the group? Regular season, basically, hours right
now? Yeah, always an exciting time. Obviously, a lot of work and build up throughout the off season and throughout training camp, preseason, to get to this point and get things going for real. So, like I said, a lot of work, a lot of preparation. Just excited to get it going. Obviously, love our team, our depth, the pieces that we got, the dynamic within the group, and the opportunity ahead of us.
What stood out to you about Fraser throughout camp that you think has helped him get to this opportunity?
Well, I think you see the hockey sense and awareness that he has. Very mature kid, I think, within his game and off the ice as well. So I think he's just got just a lot of attributes that will transition really well to the pro game and going to be so much opportunity for growth from him in so many other aspects that allow him to be a really good player for a long time. So obviously had a great camp and here with us today. So phenomenal for him, really happy for him, and know that he's going to be an impactful player for us for a long time.
Gets an extra look, maybe he's going to make the team from all intents and purposes. What do you say the rest of
I just think it's a great blend, and I know it's exciting for me to, and I think any veteran, and certainly amongst our group, just to have that youthfulness brought in. I think their energy, their passion, their excitement for the opportunity, but also their skill sets and what they bring and how they are as people. So. Help push the group, and like I said, bring that youthfulness, that energy, and different perspective on the game. As every year there's new players, the next generation of players that come in and make an impact, and we're fortunate enough to have some really good ones here right now, and certainly down the road. So good in the short and the long term for our group.
What did you know about Fraser? I know he was at camp at the start of last year, but what did you really know about him coming into this camp?
Well, I got to know him a little bit throughout the couple off seasons here, as he spent some time in Toronto, and when I've been around the rink, just chatting with him, and he's just a smart guy. I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. Understands the game really well, follows the game very closely. Always looking to pick your brain about different things. So I think he's definitely a sponge that way, and I think he's just really smart. I think the things that he asks or things that he sees, you can just understand why his game's going to translate really well and why he's got a strong skill set.
What was the reaction to Matt Murray's surgery, and how do you feel about the state of your goaltending going into the game?
Well, I think we understood, knowing Murray, that it was pretty significant. And then as Tree talked about things at the beginning of camp, knowing it was going to be really, reaffirming that. And then obviously there's official news on what exactly has happened. So I think it just kind of follows up everything that's we've understood all along, and just happy that he's on his road to recovery and going to get better. As he's still part of our team, and having him around is great, and someone that's got a tremendous amount of experience, talent, ability. Is fitting really well with our team. So be good to see him throughout the course of the year and continuing to progress and get better, and happy for him. I think our goaltending is really strong. I think that's a real strength of our organization. Is really kind of been well-rounded throughout my time here. Obviously seeing we had four very capable goalies last year, which is quite a few, and certainly we're right there this year. So excited about the guys we got in that, just as competitors and obviously as people, and how they fit in with the team. So. Excited about that.
John, do you remember what it was like for you coming into Fraser's age, like what you were feeling?
I do. Yeah, I do. A lot of differences. Differences in some. I shouldn't say a lot. Differences in some ways, as I remember back, as certain things have evolved with the game and the league, but a lot of similarities as well. So I think you can just see the smile on his face and just beaming for excitement, and I think not just that now he can relax. I think it's just that he's earned the opportunity. So, extremely happy for him, and we're excited about what he brings to our team.
What's the biggest challenge for a teenager playing center in the NHL?
Well, I think at any position at that age, there's certainly an adjustment, I think, in just the level of competitiveness, the pace, and I think the grind of, every other day, the travel, the demand on the ice, practice days, and the toll it can take, not just physically but mentally, just because of how good and how competitive the league is. So I don't know if there's one thing. I think it's just a continued adjustment of how do you make an impact to prove that you belong and can be counted on night in and night out. I think it's just that consistency and evolving your game. And I think as any young player, you want to come in and establish your strengths, and that's what you've done your whole career. There's obviously things that you want to work on, but I think anytime you've been known as a player that does things well, you've gotten to this point for a reason. You want to be able to establish those things and make an impact amongst the team that way.
How does it mean, Fraser, to still be here now?
It means everything. It's been a dream of mine for like as long as I've been alive and playing hockey to be in a position like this. So it means a lot.
At what point in camp did you start to get the feeling that this was a possibility?
Maybe after those couple Montreal games, I started to really believe it. And it's always a possibility when you're here. Everybody's watching you. If you stand out, you're going to keep getting looks. But after those games, when I was playing tough matchups and holding my own, I kind of got the inner confidence that it was a possibility.
How did you find out staying here?
I just got a call from Brad yesterday, so yeah.
What did he say? What was that moment like?
Yeah, he just said, like you said, you're staying, and we'll see how it goes, and just keep doing what you've been doing with going one day at a time, and earn your next day, and just keep it up.
What was the phone call like home?
It was great. Yeah. I called my mom and dad right away. They're in Kamloops watching my brother this weekend, but they were very happy to hear the news as well. Very proud.
Will they be here Wednesday, I imagine?
I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see if I'm in the lineup or not. I know there's a thing where if you're in the lineup, they bring your parents out for your first game. So if that's the case, then yeah.
How pumped, I guess, would be described, the family. You said you were getting a lot of messages from social media from your friends and family. How would you describe the excitement?
Yeah, they're just as happy as I am, it feels like, which is really cool. Obviously would love to see them at some point in person and give them hugs, say thank you for everything and stuff like that, but they're super excited.
Has your rise surprised yourself a bit, given such a bit a couple of years or last year, I guess? You're in this position now, barely a year later. How would you tell it?
I think I'm happy with it. I don't know if it surprised me. I knew I had a lot of potential still and would grow as a player, just continuously as I feel I have, so I'm not too surprised.
When's the last time you would have seen your parents?
I saw them during Blazers training camp, so earlier, beginning of September, they were up there.
Do you continue your hotel life now, just kind of indefinitely?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to talk to some of the guys here today and the management and see what the plan is as far as that goes.
What do you think the biggest challenge will be now if you see regular season time here moving forward? The preseason's one thing. You mentioned the other day, regular season's different. What do you think will be the biggest challenge?
Yeah, it's hard to get here, and it's even harder to stay. So, like I said earlier, I'll just try my best to keep it day by day. I think that's the best I can do, and I can't tell you what the biggest challenge is going to be. I haven't experienced it yet, so we'll see how it goes. And
what do you like about the feel on the line? You've been skating with guys. You and him seem to have a real good chemistry. Now you got Yarncroke there. What do you like about the line?
Yeah, I love it. I think there's no shortcuts with those two guys in their games. They play it defensively just as hard as they forecheck. So I love playing with guys like that who are just all over the ice working as hard as they can.
Remember when we talked to you at development camp, you said at that time your goal was to go back, become a leader, really dominate the WHL. Did you even let yourself think ahead at that point that this might be a possibility?
It's a possibility, right? Like I said earlier, during camp, everybody's watching all the time, and but you look at the roster, you see that there's a pretty full with NHL veterans. So personally, at that point, I wouldn't have thought this was necessarily a spot I'd be in, but just that mentality of taking it, day by day and working as hard as I can every day has, I think, allowed me to be here.
Where did you get that bracelet?
You know what? I have no idea, but I've had this thing. I've worn it for the past 4 years. Hasn't come off, and just every time I see it, it's a good reminder of just keep working hard.
Did you tell us last summer? I think you found it in a room or something.
Yeah, it was. I have no idea. No idea where it came from.
But it says no excuses there.
No excuses, no limits. Yeah.
What's it like to see a kid Fraser Minten, 19, make this team?
Yeah, obviously incredible. I mean, I think he's had a great camp and, I mean, looking really good out there. So I'm excited to see him on Wednesday.
What impresses you about his game?
His speed and, I mean, his smartness with the puck and, I mean, just pretty mature guy, too, for being so young. So I'm excited.
How much did you know about him before this camp?
I mean, basically all I knew is that we drafted him. I mean, that's it. I think that's all I really knew about him.
What does it mean for the group, though, to see, Nyes come in, do what he's done, Fraser now, we got Easton Cowan coming, a good young crop of next generation players?
Yeah, I mean that's huge, having good young guys that can come in and take a spot. I think that's a good competition for everybody, too, and I mean, the better we are throughout the entire lineup, the stronger we'll be.
Seeing you do a little work with John at the end of practice there, is there any sort of chemistry that's already there just because of the national team?
Yeah, we have some chemistry, just fine-tuning it, so we'll see. I don't think we played a game yet in preseason together, so we'll see how that is on Wednesday.
What sort of impact do you think he can make coming in here?
Yeah, I think he could have a huge impact. I mean, both on the power play and 5-on-5 offensively. I mean, he's a tremendous player, and we're expecting him to have a fun and good year.
Fraser's emergence allowed you to move back to the wing, but getting the run at center as you did earlier in camp, do you feel it benefited you in any way that you can bring back to you now?
Yeah, I mean, I played center before in my life, so it's I mean, it's there. I think that if it comes along the way during the season where Sheldon wants me to play center, then there's no problem.
What do you like about how things are shaking up with you, Max and John?
Yeah, like I said before, I think we've had great chemistry, and I mean, been clicking on it every day. I think me and John have always had good chemistry, and Max coming in complements us really well. So I think I'll feed off of each other out there.
When you're on the wing, what allows you to get so many breakaways? I think you're right at the top of the league last season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You go away too much, but
I can't say.
Okay. John felt like you guys have played together so much that there's that chemistry helps you in that regard too. I don't know if you feel that at all.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I think we kind of know where we're at right now, on the ice out there. So I think that's obviously a big factor.
Really, what could be next for you after scoring 40 last year?
What could be next?
Yeah.
I don't know. Better than that, I hope.
Okay. Any number in mind, or?
No, I mean, like I said before, after last or the season before last season, whatever it was, I said I'm going to do better than last year, and that's what my goal is at this year.
I know you've been focused on eliminating any lulls, right? And you were pretty consistent last year for much of the year. Maybe at the end there was one. Is that still kind of the top of your things when you look at going even higher?
I mean, now I know how to deal with it. I guess I learned through going through that last year, so I think now. Maybe, I mean, players you'll have a lull every here and there, but I just have a short one.
Was there a moment in this training camp where it became clear to you Fraser was ready, whether it's a preseason game or anything else?
Yeah, I don't know if they would say there's any game. I think it's the body of work, which never really took a step backwards. That's really what you're looking to see. Sometimes, whether it's the competition increasing and playing more NHL players that are, pushing as it's closer to the season, or you are in a situation where just the grind of this preseason in itself takes a toll on you, and that didn't happen. So because of that, he remained relevant and in the conversation all the way through. And some flexibility in our cap became available to move yesterday, and with that, we're able to keep extra guys on the roster, and it became more real for him there. Not that there were two separate decisions as the way that it all played out. That there was a desire to create more flexibility on the cap and be able to keep a bigger roster, and then it was who do you want to keep. So two separate things, and I'm really happy for Fraser. He's worked extremely hard, and we think he can help us, so we'll give him that opportunity.
Would Fraser being an entry-level deal will just be day by day with him in terms of evaluating his how long he stays in the
Yeah, day by day is probably not accurate, because I think like any other player, if you don't have a great day, you're going to give them another opportunity. But it's certainly going to be an ongoing evaluation, like it is really for any new player coming in. We're a team that's competing to win, so it's going to be something where we have high expectations of anybody that's in our lineup. So we believe in him, and I think he's earned the opportunity. I think it creates a good look for our lineup. We're talking about kind of getting in that additional center, which is why we started with Willie in camp. There was just the need to try to create a third center to go with Nyes, Domi, and Bertuzzi, and we like that as an option to start here.
Did you come into camp thinking this was a possibility, or just you let everyone decide?
No, no, he wasn't on the radar at all. I mean, we liked the player, and I thought he had a great camp last year. I was really excited to watch him in Traverse City and all of that. We did have some people inside, in our player development and scouting that watched him very, very closely that thought that he might factor in more than we had figured, and then that turns out that's the case. So credit to them, but mainly just credit for Fraser, because I think he's, even since his season ended last season, in the Memorial Cup, or when his season finished, to coming into this season, we've seen tremendous growth in him. He's faster, he's bigger, and he's stronger. And the foundation of his game, probably more importantly than anything, the foundation of his game is rooted in competitiveness, intelligence, just pro habits and detail, all things that normally when kids are coming out of junior, you got to spend time to get into their game. He arrives with that. So that's exciting, and that's why he didn't take a step backwards. He just has that solid foundation to build upon.
Were those the attributes that some of the people within the organization thought might pop?
Yes, yeah, precisely, and just knowing that we had a need for another center, or at least an opportunity for another center. Knowing that, with William and his ability to play both, if he comes into the middle, well, then you're a little bit weaker on the wings, and if he's on the wing, then we're weaker at center. So there's opportunity there, and said he's taken advantage of it. But I think, the best thing about him, I don't think he came in here, I'm sure he wouldn't have come in here thinking that this would be a reality, and wasn't a goal necessarily. It was just to put his best foot forward and work hard and look to make things difficult and try to soak up everything he can from the experience. And through all of that, he's found his way onto the opening day roster. So, we're excited for him. I think talking to our players, they're excited too. They recognize a lot of those traits that I'm talking about as well.
Did you call him yesterday?
Brad called him yesterday. We were together here. We had a long day of meetings here yesterday as a group, and Brad called him to let him know.
Is there a Gregor announcement on the way then too, or?
I'll leave that to Tree. I think Tree will talk to you guys tomorrow, and he'll give you the update on that. I think you'll see a lot of different machinations of the lineup and things that'll be happening over the next little bit before we hit the ice on Wednesday.
What about you, Cal and Sheldon still here, and I guess for more of an experience type of thing, or?
Yeah, same thing. I'll leave that to Tree to talk about, but like I said, you'll see a lot of different things happening within the roster and things over the next couple of days before we hit the ice, and Easton will be a part of that.
I know the news didn't come as a surprise to you, but what's the reaction of Matt getting his procedure done, and is there a plan now maybe to keep involved as you guys move throughout the year?
Well, obviously, we've been aware of his situation for some time now, so it doesn't change anything from my perspective. Just happy that the procedure went well, and seems to be in good spirits. Knows he's got a long road ahead, but it'll be good to see him around. And when you talk to him, he's wanting to put the work in, and knows this was a necessary thing for him and his career. Yet I also know Matt, and he's an incredibly hard worker and disciplined guy, so he'll do all that he can to be ready.
What do you make of the appointments to the staff today with McElhinney and Muzzin also?
Well, Muzz, first of all, obviously he's the one I know the most. I do know that since he's been unable to play, he's been wanting to contribute to the organization in any way that he can, and take advantage of each day while he's here. I know he's moved away from the area here now, but he still wants to be involved and both help us and figure out what's next in life for him. So to have him around and have his perspective and all of that is valuable, I think, to the organization. And got to know McElhinney a little bit from being around here the last little while, and so that was a need to have. But two guys with lots of different experience in the league, you can never have enough of those types of people, and exciting additions.
What can the team take away from the reps William did get at center at this camp? There's so much focus on that, of course, coming in, and what can he take from that?
Yeah, well, to me, I'm hoping that he takes more comfort in that if I go to it, because of the progression of Minten and sort of keeping an eye on this situation, on how it's played out. We shifted away from William on it. So it wasn't as much of an opportunity or as many reps as we had anticipated. Yet I still think it's more than he's had in the past in terms of a consistent run. So if we feel the need to go to that, I think it's an easier transition for William to do so. Yeah, it's tough. It's obviously it happens in camp and happens right here when you're part of it, and it's a little bit harder that way. But it's not unlike some of the guys we've had to see walk out, in off seasons and things of that nature. The salary cap being what it is and staying flat all these years, we knew things were going to be really tight when we made some of the decisions we did in the off season. And the way that it is, obviously, aside from Timmins, we remained healthy through camp, and that just tightened things even further, and decisions had to be made, and I'll leave that to Brad to expand upon. But it was, Sam's a great team player who works extremely hard when he's here. He's a good player and a good professional, and we wish him well.